It's not enough at all. It's not enough at all because what I saw today, I don't think is thick or solid enough to actually challenge for anything. Of course, Michael Carey knows. I remember when he had that friendly game, I thought it was just a friendly against AC Milan. A strongly AC Milan. Then we actually, leading at some point 2-1 or whatever. So all of a sudden, they capitulated. And AC Milan that we know that are not really at their best, they were able to humble Man United 4-2, if I'm not mistaken. So, but we thought it's just a friendly. But what we saw today is a reminder of what we saw Man U played against a strongly AC Milan, with all due respect to AC Milan anyway. But however, up against Hull City, a newly promoted team, and of course, the process they underwent to be able to get to Premier League. They have to go through a playoff and all that. We know when you are actually looking at Man United, it's a big team with a very rich history. And of course, they are not supposed to be settling for second best. I think the acquisition this season is not doesn't look as good as the acquisition of last season. Because most of the players that they actually brought in this season, they are just average. To be told. They are just average. You see, when you are bringing in players, you go for the very best. In player that will come, with that kind of pedigree, that you can always count on, bank on when they need analysis. And so when they come in, their coming will suddenly elevate the team spirit and all that. But what did you actually see? You have made some money, spent some money, not that much yet, but averagely you have spent money. But I don't see any upgrade. It's like we were even better off of last season than the Man United that we are seeing this season. Looking at it from the defensive point of view, I don't think that defense is good enough to actually keep Man United, in the games when it matters most. The defense were just kind of, very, very disjointed, porous, and of course insipid. That is the defense that I saw today. They were never aware of any threat. I saw, of course, Lucio. I don't know, the heart is also affecting him because sorry to say, because when Maguire jumped, he jumped at the wrong time, which means it was not precise. And you just jump for you to be seen that you have jumped. Yeah, it's okay. He actually elevated himself unnecessarily.
Those players
yes, when Luke Shaw was even jumping with turning his back against, which means not even aware of a threat. And so the goalkeeper, he did his best. He's an average goalkeeper. In fact, Man United even needs a high-profile goalkeeper. I don't want to blame him. He tried his best. He's meant to concede goal when the defense are not up and doing. And look, even the midfield, he actually started with the two new acquisitions. And that is wrong. Because it's like the level of that chemistry
is not there.
It's not yet there. And so they struggled with all due respect to them. And they were substituted at the same time. And that is not a good sign. You understand? Of course, now, they may work together along the line. But just hobbing them off at the same time, it's almost as good as dampening their morale. It's not. I don't think it's a good one.
They were losing balls.
Yeah, they were losing ball.
The 2 goals that were scored in the first half.
Yes, it was attributable to their negligence. Yeah, I agree.
Did you observe when Mino came in? That midfield changed a little bit.
A little bit. Yeah, that's exactly that. He was not supposed to have started the two at the same time. But then. Which means they still have issues in that midfield department because even Bruno Fernandes, we know how he plays. He doesn't have that defensive quality and is usually very offensive and try to give assists and all that. And again, why is it that the number 9, which is
Cunha.
No, number 9. The real number 9, Sesko, should have been given a starting bed because Cunha is not an out-and-out striker. When you have an out-and-out striker, why do you put him on the bench? And Cunha produce more from the flank, from the wing.
Yes.
So, of course, that is exactly his natural position. Sometimes those coaches, overthink. At the end of the day, they ended up messing up the team. The team is not bad, but the setup was wrong. And which means the coach has a lot of work to do technically and tactically. And of course, beyond all the mistakes this coach made and all that, I think they still need reinforcement. That team is crying for reinforcement, not just ordinary reinforcement, qualitative reinforcement. That is exactly what that team needs, with all due respect to Carrick.